by so much said. I'm in too deep. Waters I tread can't catch my breath. A shadow chasing me. A game of hide and seek. Found they'll have a key.
All right, welcome everyone to another edition of Deconversion Stories, and today I have the absolute pleasure of chatting with my newfound friend Deneen, who is actually the mom of ex-fundie Stacy, who was just on the show a couple of episodes ago, and Deneen felt that it was time to share her story. So, welcome to the show, Deneen.
I'm coming out.
I'm coming out.
I want the world to know.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Back to the 70s. Was that 70s or 80s? I guess it was 70s.
I think 70s, yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Whatever, we were both there. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Drinking out of the garden hose, right? In the backyard. Soaking everyone on the street with your sprinklers.
Yeah.
Like eating dirt just to build our immune system.
And not dying.
And not dying, exactly. Anyway, just so you guys know, Mikey will be with us shortly. He was running a little late, and he just got out of the shower. Please don't picture him naked. That's a bad thing. And I just had to plant that in your head, didn't I? Anyways, Deneen, what I do here is I chat with folks about their journeys away from the belief systems they were once a part of. And I kind of ask people to sort of take us on that journey. You could do it highlights, or you can get pretty deep into it if you want. And I kind of also want to know how ultimately it's affected your life. Like most of the time I hear things have gotten better, but sometimes people always say they miss certain elements of it or whatever. But basically, just take us on that journey with you. And I might throw my hand up every once in a while if I have a stupid question to ask,
Stupid questions.
Just stupid people. I know. Right.
Okay, well, so I was born in 1964 to a 17-year-old mom who had no idea how to raise a baby. But ultimately, my father turned out to be homosexual. So he split up, and she ended up with a very abusive man. And he wasn't a good guy. But when I was about 7, my mom ended up going to one of those Jesus people weekends and came back saved. And
of course.
Yeah. And through the course of my childhood, she was saved and crazy and then not saved and doing what she wanted. And then we were in church and we were not in church, and we were at church and not in church. And it was just...
Hold on.
Yeah. I
was always taught or understood, I must say, that once saved, always saved. So how can you not be saved?
Well, yeah. So as a kid, it was just confusing because we were either at church, and it was the kind of church, it was always non-denominational. Mm-hmm. But now I know that basically we were Pentecostal. It was always non-denominational, but we had Pentecostal roots because everybody was speaking in tongues and rolling on the floor and falling out in the spirit. But I was always very confused because depending on what stage my mother was at, we were either going to church all the time or not going at all. And she was professing it all, but not living it. And so, but if asked, we were Christian. And
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, my life was just in a lot of turmoil. We moved around a lot. My name was changed a lot because we were always running and hiding from my stepdad. And, so I had to go by different names through my whole childhood, but always, we were Jesus people. So at one point we moved from BC to Alberta, and we lived in a townhouse. Yeah. From BC
Canada
to
Texas.
Yeah. From BC to Hinton, Alberta.
Oh, geez.
The stinky town. So, she actually kidnapped us on the way to school and hushed us into a car, and we ended up in
Wow.
this townhouse with all these people I didn't know, where there was prayer meetings going on all night long. There was exorcisms, and at 9 years old, I was exorcised. I'd be held down on the floor.
What?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
why would they decide to do that to you?
I don't know.
Were you running around the house going, "Ah!" or something
No.
like that? Or
No, it was just
Okay.
I had been with.
Very
Oh, hi, hello.
Hi.
We have a very clean Mikey with us now.
There we go.
I was proper dirty. I needed to wash.
What would improper dirty be, Mikey?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, wow. All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
We're talking about exorcisms here.
Yeah, that's what I walked in. I'm like, wait, you had a demon? What was
Oh,
its name?
Yeah.
Was it a friendly
So,
demon?
in that particular household situation, there were so many people living in this townhouse. I didn't know. I could wake up in a bedroom with multiple adults. I had no idea who they were. And yeah, it was not a good situation. But they were all Christian. They were all Jesus people. And
Doesn't make them
Yeah.
good people.
no, I had a lot of really awful
FYI.
things happen to me as a kid. A lot of real awful things happened to me as a child.
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Some of them at the hands of strangers, and some of them at the hands of family members. Family. They weren't blood. So I kept that all to myself till I was about 15 or 16. And I came out and finally told my grandmother that I had a lot of really bad things happen to me. And unbeknownst to me, she went and told my mom. And my mom didn't even say a word. When I finally came out and told my mom, the response was, "Yeah, I know, your grandmother told me."
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and no sympathy, no nothing, no sorry about that, no. When I finally, just a few years ago, confronted my mom and said, "You know, you owe me an apology," her response was, "God's forgiven me, so you have to too." Okay,
Holy
so
shit.
I ended up.
How could she demonstrate that God forgave her?
I have no idea.
Wow. Okay.
So, so let's backpedal a little bit. So,
Sure.
I spent a lot of my life. I was the people pleaser in the family. I was one of 3 kids. My brother and my sister are half siblings to me, and so I was the pleaser. I was the eldest, and the first time my mom left us, she sent us back to their father, and she woke me up in the middle of the night after she'd left him. She woke me up in the middle of the night. We had taken off with the neighbor next door, who she was having an affair with, my Christian mother, and said, "You have to go back. I'm sending you back to be with your dad." I didn't know he wasn't my dad, to be honest with you.
Okay.
And I said, "I don't want to go," because I was old enough to know what he'd been doing. And her response to me was, "You have to go. You have to look after your brother and your sister." So she laid that mantle on me right away at 9 years old.
Wow.
So there I am, 9 years old. I've got a 2-year-old little brother and a 6-year-old little sister. And now I'm thrown into this role. And I just became the caretaker. And that's when all this stuff started happening to me at the hands of him. And so I just learned to just keep my mouth shut and not say anything and be the people pleaser. So while she's away, she starts sending Bible story books and phoning, and I refuse to take her calls. And I refused to read her Bible stories. And he took great pleasure when she'd phone saying, "Deneen doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't want to read your Bibles, nothing." Then that's when she came back and kidnapped us and then took us to Hinton, and we ended up in the Jesus People townhouse. And then it just, yeah. So I have been to a lot of crazy churches. I had been in my whole life. I was like, I faked it. I faked all of it. How I started speaking in tongues was I started mimicking my mom. I literally mimicked my mom. If anybody had listened, I sounded exactly like her. I just mimicked her because that was the evidence that I was saved. Because if you didn't speak in tongues, you weren't saved, you weren't going to heaven.
Right.
So I thought, if I don't do this, I'm not going to heaven. So I just grew up thinking, I got to do this or I'm not going to heaven. I'm not got to do this or I'm not going to heaven. And I was messed up. Just messed up inside.
That's crazy talk.
I had ulcers at 5 years old.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was gross. It was just gross. There was nothing happy about my childhood. There was nothing fun about my childhood. But anyway, so I had my kids. My first child was a stillborn, and then I had my daughter Stacy, whom you met, and she's the light of my life. And then I had my son,
She's
and
awesome.
she's amazing, and so is my son. They're just they love me. They're so good. So I decided, okay, how does an unhealthy human being raise healthy children? I thought, I know. I'll use the blueprint of what my mom did, and I'll do the total opposite of everything she did.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know how
right?
people use the excuse, well, I don't know how to do this. I didn't have a good childhood. So I just thought, well, I'll do everything that I didn't have done for me. I'll do that for them. So I listened. I was kind. I was empathetic. I was sympathetic. I let them know they could talk to me about anything. Nothing was off limits.
That's awesome.
So that's what I did. And my kids are awesome. Now, the only thing was I took them to church because I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, I get it.
My son, he quit going to church as an early teen, and I didn't force him to go.
3 episodes in, he started like, screw this.
Oh, yeah, no, he saw some hypocrisy right away. As an early teen, he saw the hypocrisy, and he just was like, I'm not going. And he said, don't worry, Mommy. If someone was to walk in here right now, put a gun to my head and say, do you believe? He said, oh, I'm a Christian. I'll say it. But he didn't walk it. Nothing. So I just was like, okay, but I didn't care really, because down deep, he would say to me, I'm really sorry. I'm not like Stacy. I'm really sorry. She's the perfect one. And I'd say to him, Lance, I'm more like you than I am like Stacy, because Stacy was perfect. Stacy, when she told you the other day, I didn't do anything wrong, she wasn't lying. That kid did nothing wrong. But it put so much pressure on her. I would say to her, why don't you be more like your brother?
Be more like the evil one. What's wrong?
I was like, stop letting things bother you. Have some more fun. Stop, if I
get a detention or something.
Yeah, honestly, she put so much pressure on herself to be perfect. And Lance was like, I would get mad at him and he'd be like, okay, sorry. And then just move on. If I got mad at Stacy for something, a month later, I'm still really sorry, Mommy. I'm still really sorry. And I'd be like, seriously, let it go. Right?
I'm over it. I'm
sorry. I just can't. If you talk to Stacy today, she'll tell you the exact date she got her last spanking.
Oh boy.
And she'll tell you what it was for. Seriously, she could put it in the chat now if she's on.
I was about to say, let's
she'll tell you, Stacy, if you're there, put in the date of your last spanking and what it was for.
Yeah, if you're watching on the phone.
Yeah. So with Lance, he'd be like, I don't know, you broke 15 wooden spoons on my ass. I don't know.
That sounds about right. That's what I think I went through too.
How am I expected to remember all of the different? No, there's too many. That can't.
And then one day, I remember one time when they started doing stockings for me at Christmas, Stacy bought me at the dollar store a package of wooden spoons. He's like, what the heck is wrong with you? You're buying your wooden spoons?
Stacy says February 12th, 1994.
Yeah. And she's not lying. She was 10. But they got to 10 and 7 years old, and I sat them down. I said, okay, you both are the people you are going to be for the rest of your life. You will not spankings. This is it. I'm done, because who you are is who you're going to be. This is it. I'm not spanking you anymore. It's harder on me than it is on you. She never understood that. Now she's a parent. She gets that. She's like, how is it harder on you than it is on me? Right. Okay. So their whole childhood, I faked it. like, I don't want to go to church. I don't believe in any of this. I don't understand. I never wanted to pick up my Bible. I was telling Stacy today, I used to like dust off my Bible or just the position of it to make it look like I'd read it. I've always
And
been a
the old
closet
page.
atheist. I've been a closet
Start
atheist. I take
highlighting
the
a couple
highlighter.
just go through a couple of things in Psalms.
Highlight, and I'd be like, okay, this looks good. This looks good. Everybody knows John 3:16. Everybody knows that.
I'll
Yeah,
take that
yeah,
one
yeah.
first.
And I just like, I never understood faith is the substance of things not hoped for. Like, what does that mean? And what was that thing where I said to Stacey today, I never understood when they would say, what's fear is the opposite of love? I mean, hate is the opposite of love. What do you mean fear is the opposite of? I never got anything. And people would sit there like, oh yeah, I get that. I'm like, I don't get any of this. I don't
If I
get
fall in
any
love,
of it.
I'm very afraid. So I don't know.
We
I'm
should
afraid
all-
for that person. That's all I can do.
We
So
should all be afraid.
There was, and okay, so my last husband and I, we separated in August of 2020, and during the last year of our marriage, I kept trying to sit him down and say, Evan, I don't believe in God anymore. I don't believe in God. And he would look at me like I grew 3 heads. He's like, what are you even talking about? Don't say that. And I'm like, okay.
He'll hear you.
Okay. All right. And I'd leave the room. And then I'd try again, or like a month later, and say, look, you don't even want to go to church. Why don't you admit it? You don't believe it. And he's like, don't say that. I believe in God. I'm a Christian. He never wanted to go to church. I never understood, like, why are you faking this? Again, I try to go to him and say, Evan, I don't believe in God. Can we just talk about this? What are you talking about? I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm like, okay, you're a Christian in name only because you don't even go to church. Like, can we talk? Can we be honest? Who can I talk to about this? I couldn't talk to my daughter because as far as I knew, she was the best Christian I knew. I couldn't even talk to Stacy, and she's my best friend. I had nobody. All my friends were Christian. I didn't know any non-Christians. I knew no one. I was in this bubble with all Christians, and I couldn't talk to anybody. And the only non-Christian that I knew was my brother. And he doesn't speak to me. To this day, he doesn't talk to me. I couldn't even go to him, and I couldn't go to him and say, I don't believe in God. Can you help me? Because he doesn't talk to me. My sister doesn't talk to me. They're my half siblings, and the family had a whole falling out, and they don't talk to me. Okay. And I'm just like, yeah, thank you. And
You're stuck with us, though.
It's awesome. This is the first time I can literally on Facebook today. I changed it from agnostic to atheist. Today, I did it. I did it, and I told Stacy, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
Come and find out why tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
You guys, this is serious. This is like all okay. So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
People in our Christian world, they started dropping us when we got the shot.
Oh,
they started dropping us.
What?
They started dropping us when we stopped being new apostolic. They started dropping us when we stopped believing in the Holy Spirit and speaking in tongues. They thought we'd lost. They were new NAR, New Apostolic Reformation. When we stopped believing that speaking in tongues was real, they all thought we'd lost our marbles. They all thought we were, okay, you're not saved. You're not Christian anymore. So we started losing people then. So when there is. When Stacy and I, a couple of years ago, and she touched on that with you the other day, when we had sat down and watched the American Gospel, and I was like, okay, now what? I don't even know how to freaking pray if we're praying wrong. Because here's the thing. If this speaking in tongues thing, I've been faking that and thinking I was doing okay. Stacy and I used to just sit on the phone and be in dead silence because we didn't even know what to say anymore because I already was thinking there was no God. And Stacy's thinking, okay, there's a God, but we've just been praying wrong. And I'm on the phone thinking, Stacy, I don't think there's a God, but I can't tell you that. I don't know what to do. So she's out there trying to find the right church to go to. And I'm thinking, I don't even want to go to church, Stace. And I can't even tell my best friend, who's my daughter. So
Die quieter, Mikey.
Sorry, I just like pictured like the two Canadians meeting at a stop sign, and they're like, "No, after you, no, after you," and they're like in this perpetual thing of they can't tell each other the thing that would stop both of them from doing the
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
It's a weird paradoxical parallel
It's
universe.
really-
thing or something.
You just really, when you have lived in this perpetual bubble, and all the people around you who think they know you. I've gone radio silent on everybody. I've got some super close friends that I've just dropped because they don't know me anymore. And I don't know how to tell them, you really don't know me. Like, you really don't know me, because I don't believe anything you believe. You think I lost it because I went and got vaccinated. You think that's the worst thing about me.
Well, sure.
You really think that's the worst thing about me because I went and got vaccinated. Yeah. I have one friend came and visit me last summer, and she's supposed to be this professing Christian. And every time she's alone with me in the room, she's like, I hate my husband. I hate him. I hate him. You really need to stay married to Evan, though. My husband, she's telling me, you need to stay married. It's biblical. You should not be divorcing your husband, but I sure hate mine.
So, wow. I see.
But I said, my husband told me to leave. I said to her, I would have stayed married to my husband, but he told me to leave. So this is completely different. You have no business telling me what to do when you're sitting here telling me you hate your husband and you're a Christian. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't even believe in God. I don't even believe in the Bible. So don't tell me what to do. I can't even tell you I don't believe in God, because that'll make you lose your shit.
So told her anyways.
Well, one day I hope she sees this. I'm tempted to send it to her because we haven't spoken since last summer. I'm tempted just to send her this link.
In your face. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. It doesn't have to be that aggressive. It shouldn't.
Oh, I would love to.
It shouldn't be that aggressive.
No.
Well, you have the option to do that. I sent you a link you could share, right?
She'll know who she is. I think I will. She sent me a couple of really long messages, and I didn't open them. I just deleted them. I told
Left
her
you on. Didn't even get left on red.
no. I left her unread. That was my revenge.
Think about that next time.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just when I've been talking to Stacy since she did the show with you, and I'm like, Stacy, didn't you notice that I didn't want to go to church? And she's like, actually, yeah, I did. I was like, why doesn't Mommy want to go to church anymore? Like, just it's because I didn't want to go to church. I didn't believe any of it. I didn't believe it. People are coming to me. My mom's downstairs right now. And I was like, my mom would come to me and say, did you hear so-and-so raise 50 people from the dead? I'm like, and no one had an iPhone? No one recorded this?
Yeah.
Not one person in the 5,000 people at this tent meeting had one iPhone and recorded this person being raised from the dead.
Battery died.
Everybody's battery died.
We all left our flashlights on accident, and they were in your pocket with the light on. It burns the battery. Yeah, it happened to all of us. It's crazy.
Satan made their batteries die because he didn't want anybody to see it.
He owns the earth and the Samsung batteries.
He kept saying, quit stealing my people.
Can I tell you one thing, though, that every so often, because you have to remember now, I got saved at age 7. I've got like over 50 years of indoctrination, and there are times when I'm alone, just driving my car. There's times when because I've been in a cult for a really long time, guys. Every so often when I'm by myself, I just get gripped with fear. What if I'm wrong?
Yeah,
I wonder.
That happens.
I get scared. I'll come home and say to Stacy, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong? Stacy, talk me down. And she was like, it's okay, Mommy. It's okay. You don't have to decide right now. I go, but what if I die right now? What if I'm wrong? And she really talks me down off the ledge. She's like, it's okay. It's okay. Because I'll tell you something. There's one thing about my daughter. When she was Christian, she was all in. And when she's atheist, she's all in. And I love that about her. I do. Like, she's my hero. I respect her. I love her. She might be 20 years younger than me, but I look up to her.
Yeah, well,
And I need her. I need her.
Stop crying, Stacy.
Is she crying? Where are you? Where are you? Where
well,
are you?
I don't know. In this chat.
Oh my gosh, I just love her. And she realized, like, when she was on your show the other day, she's like, I had so much more to say. I got more to say. So I said, you know what? She and I need to sit down and we need to do a thing. We need to do a YouTube thing and we need to talk, because we get together and we just like, we just bounce off of each other and we have so much to say. So I think we really need to do a thing, her and I, and we need to we're fun. We're fun. Like, we go out shopping.
I won't argue with that.
We go out shopping together and people are like, are you guys sisters or best friends? What the heck are you? You look a lot alike, but why is your hair red? I'm like, oh yeah, well, yeah, we're mother and daughter, but we're best friends. And yeah, like so I think we're gonna sit down and just do a thing with no time limit and we have so many stories.
Let me help you out here. Set a time limit.
Yeah.
I know you mean well, but
we
just say half an hour, so then you could turn it off at 2 hours. But if you say
there you go.
It will be 4 days later, and then
4 days later, like,
just do that. Just a little limit. A little limit.
Oh my gosh. Do you know, I have a best friend who lives in Australia. We've been best friends for so long. We've known each other 10 years. We've never met. Never.
That's awesome.
And we talk every single day, and we never run out of things to talk about. We're just our energy. We're so much alike. So Stacy and I, we are so similar. People sometimes we think we're the same person. People accuse us of being the same people, yet we do have a lot of differences, and that's why I love her so much, because she really grounds me. And yeah, she's amazing. I love my daughter. I love her.
Yeah, I liked her when she came on the show. She's great. Personality's awesome.
She's
good sense of humor.
And her husband is just the perfect match for her. There was so many times. Listen, I'll tell you, this is Stacy. You should have thought of this when you were dating him. There was so many times she'd be on a date with him and he would do or say something. And she's like, oh, you have no idea. You have no idea. When I get home and tell my mom this, she's going to tell me I have to break up with you. She'd come home and say, oh, mommy, so Brian said this. And I'd be like, so? And I would I'd say, no, you're not breaking up with him. This guy's a keeper, right? Like, oh, mommy, he smoked pot. I'm like, so? What? So? They're like, because she didn't know.
Because that's bad.
I was normal, right? I was normal.
Yeah.
Or Brian said this. I'm like, so what? He's a guy. He's not a girl. You want to marry a guy. You don't want to marry a guy who has feminine ways. She's like, oh, like she just expected him to be a certain way. And I'm like, no, Stacy. And I never wanted her to marry someone from church. Oh God, no. Like, they're freaks. They're weird. Don't marry someone from church. They're weird. So yeah. So I went to bat for him so many times. And throughout their whole marriage, she'll be like, they'll have an argument and she'd be like, I'm phoning my mom. And he's like, oh, good. Go phone your mother. So then she gets on the phone.
She'll be on my side.
Yeah, it is true. It is true. So yeah. So they're married because, they're married and they stayed married because of me so many times. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah.
She became their impromptu marriage counselor or something? Oh
yeah. Totally. She'd be like, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm phoning my mom. And he's like, oh, thank God. Well, oh my gosh. I have a friend who's an atheist. He's my first atheist. And I said to him, so what do atheists say? He's like, oh, we say thank God, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a figure of speech.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I've gotten used
so-
to just saying thank goodness myself. I don't
Yeah.
think of
Yeah. Yeah. Now that
Or
I can
thank-
say
thank
it,
the
and it's
flying
not bad.
spaghetti I've been touched by his noodly appendage. Whoa, that could be misconstrued.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, so, yeah. So, technically, I think I've really been a closet atheist for a super long time. I couldn't say it out loud. And
Well, what about now? You feel now you can just walk around and with a megaphone and be like, I'm
Except
an atheist. Screw
there's
you people.
one person in my life that I'm not comfortable with saying it to yet. She's my
Oh.
78-year-old best friend, and I
Oh.
can't do it to her quite yet. Yeah. She sat at lunch with me. She sat at lunch with me yesterday, and she talked about the soul ties. Have you heard of those?
No.
Is that like a for
Anything like zip ties or
for formal wear, Neil?
No.
use soul
No.
tie.
Okay, are you ready for
Polo
this one?
tie.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Sure. Yeah.
Get ready. Fasten your seatbelts. In the Christian world, when you have sex with someone, you create a soul tie.
Really? Oh
I'm
boy.
not even lying. I'm not even.
Is that what that's called?
A
So-
soul. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, and it's a big long rigmarole to get rid of the soul tie, and it's just. And I sat there yesterday. I had to smile and nod politely, and so I have to deal with these kind of things still. And there's times where she goes off on these little things, and I'm like, I can't tell you that I don't believe in all this anymore. And there's gonna come a time, I know, but she's just so sweet, and she doesn't mean any harm. And I just, there's just some people she's just that one person that I just
Don't have the heart to do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it might hurt her? Or?
Yeah, I do. And I'm not out to hurt anybody, and I'm not out to mock anybody.
We'll do that for you.
How dare you?
Yeah. And I spend a lot of time with her, and she's been a really good friend, and she has seen me through a lot with this last divorce that I've gone through, because he really hurt me a lot. He really hurt me a lot. I would have stayed married to him, and
Really?
I was not happy. I'm happy that I'm out of it now. I got released. I would have stayed married even though I didn't believe in God, because he was a nice person and I didn't want to hurt him. Like, I was just told you, people pleaser. Yeah.
Yeah, but the person you should be worried about most is yourself in a situation like that, right? So please
know.
yourself for okay, that can be misconstrued too. You know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean.
I'm very happy to be out of it. And you know what? My daughter was the one who I kept saying, I can't get divorced. And she's like, why? I hate that. I hate that. Thank you, Rowan. That's my nephew.
Hello, Rowan.
That's my
Welcome to the show.
nephew. And I love him. He's like one of my kids. I love him so much.
Aw.
Yeah, Stacy's right. We're told to die to self every day as Christians. And even though, well, you know what?
What? What does that even mean?
Stacy, yeah, we're to die to self every day. We're not supposed to put ourselves first. And look at my mom. I said, I want to come with you. I don't want to go back. And she said, you have to take care of your brother and your sister. That was the first time.
Wow.
9 years old. So I didn't start living for myself. Neil, I did not start living for myself until like just a couple months ago. I started going out on dates. I'm dating now. I'm dating now. It's so much fun.
What? Where are you at?
Vernon.
I got a friend
In Vernon?
In Vernon?
close by.
Where?
I have relatives in Vernon.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Cold
you're
Spring.
from BC. That's where I'm sitting right now in Coldstream. I'm
Oh.
sitting in Coldstream.
Madeline has a little ranch up there, or she lives at a place where they have ranch.
Very nice.
Lots of horses.
I'm 5'11". So my cutoff is 5'9". I'm okay with a little shorter, but not too short.
Rough break there, Neil.
Dude, I'm
He's
6'5".
I was paying attention.
Well, when I put my boots on, I'm 6'5". I'm
And my
6'4".
cutoff for age, I will not date anyone younger than 55.
Well,
They used to have to be older, and I got talked out of that too because I only would date.
Is there
people older
around
than
your
me.
age?
Yeah.
It's probably the best, right?
Yeah. I won't go younger.
2-3 years younger, maybe 2-3
That's
years
the cut.
older.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay with up to like 8 to 10 years older, but that's it.
How about guys with beards?
Put my biker boots on. I'm 6'5", even green.
My dad was 6'6". That's why I'm so tall. Yeah. I like tall. I like tall. I like to feel little. I've never felt little my whole life. When I was in kindergarten, I had to go get the paper towels for every little girl that went to the bathroom. I was the bathroom buddy for everybody. The story of my life.
Apparently, you like bikes too. Stacy says you like bikes too.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I haven't owned one
Look at
since
you,
93.
Stacy.
So.
Yeah, Heather.
Oh,
Ethan
what's
Queen.
up? Ethan Queen, yeah.
6'5"
Yeah,
with boots on.
Yeah, I'm about 6'4" on average there.
Yeah.
But if I cut off my feet, I'm 6 foot.
Don't do that. Why would you do that?
Why would I even say that?
Is that an episode of Dexter waiting to happen?
Yeah.
So then I took Neil into the trailer.
Yeah.
Blue tarp.
I was just going to say, where's the tarps?
In the Randolph's backyard.
Oh my God.
He had
Okay,
the
what's the
Dexter
joke
tarps
there?
all over. Randolph is building a studio for their new show, True North Talk, their call-in show. And while he was like covering dirt or something, he had some tarps out there. And we were just like, he'd bring his laptop out and he had the camera. So it was in the backyard. And we're just like, yo, man, what's some tarps in the back? You got
a body in there.
You got it's rolled up, man. You got what's in them?
Yeah.
And then he was pouring concrete the next day, and we never saw the tarps again. So I don't know.
Okay, that's definitely an episode of Dexter waiting to happen.
Yeah, he's there with Jimmy Hoffa.
It was a victimless crime.
Yeah,
he was gonna hurt so many people.
Oh, did I miss a starred one?
Maybe.
It looks like I did. Oh, yes, I did. I guess this was in reference to something earlier. Is this coming from prophetic movement type churches, Bethel, Morning Star, that kind of thing?
Oh, we were smart enough to avoid Bethel, but if Bethel had been back a few years, we probably would have got involved with Bethel. Hey, Stace. Oh
boy.
Stacy liked Hillsong music, but she got out of that quick.
I've only watched like one episode of that with the wife. And she's like, you'll love it. And I was watching, I was like,
I loved it.
Can we watch Breaking Bad again? Like, I didn't like it.
Oh my gosh.
5'2" with boots on.
Don't trip in those boots.
Yeah, what are you, Gene Simmons from Kiss now?
Oh my gosh.
Or my version, the Funkadelic. He had the G-Funk. The Parliament Funk platforms.
Oh yeah. Well, I saw Kiss back in the day. I think it was 77 or 79, I think.
Oh, you were little.
Lover. I was 11, I think, or 12.
Yeah, little.
But I used to walk around the streets with Ace Frehley makeup on. And I did all the makeup for the kids in the neighborhood too when they wanted to get dressed up like that. And Loverboy opened for them when I saw them, and they got booed off the stage. They're like, "Bring on
Loverboy
Kiss!
got booed.
These guys suck!" Yeah. They were unknown really at the time. Their first album hadn't even come out, so bring on Kiss! these guys suck. Bring
Oh,
on kids.
wow.
The rough Canadians.
And I'm looking at them, and
No
I'm like,
kidding.
is he wearing a headband? What's he doing? Fitness? What is this?
Hey man, you gotta keep the sweat out your
Margaret
eyes.
Cho
so you
made
can
those
see.
famous.
You gotta
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
baby. Gotta keep that sweat out my eyes.
This red sweatband going across there. I'm like, where are your little leggy things that remember those?
Leg
warmers.
Yeah,
I put those on
yeah.
Stacy when she was a baby.
Aw.
Pictures or it didn't
Leg
happen.
warmers.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Oh, I'm sure
And then
there's
Stacy
pictures.
gave me some for Christmas this year.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
hillbilly. I'm so sorry you had to go sit through Winger. She's only 17.
No, what? Oh, Winger.
Yeah, Kip Winger. He used to play for, I think it was Alice Cooper, actually.
Who named their
Way
kid
back.
Kip?
Cooper.
Who did
Somebody
that?
cruel.
Somebody cruel indeed.
Somebody that also spoke in tongues, probably. And that was just one of the worst things. Kip. Okay, we'll name him Kip.
It's just the baby's first word.
Yeah.
They just waited to name him, I guess.
Oh,
They thought it was Kip. He was really saying, "Oh my God, we're in church. Please kill me." I don't know how they could have got that confused, but anyway. So, what's? I know that you told us that you don't want to share this information with your 76-year-old friend of the fact that you're an atheist now.
Just that one. Yeah, that's the toughest.
Does most of the people in your life know now, or is this kind of your coming out party?
There's not a lot of there's not a lot of most of the people in my life right now because we moved to Vernon.
Thank you,
and,
Derek.
oh, thanks, Derek. Thank you. That's so sweet. I'm telling people now. Okay, so yeah, I'm telling people now. I'm just
Okay.
putting it out there. I told Stacy today. I'm like, I'm putting it out there. I don't care. She's like, really? Like, I think she's surprised because it was only like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I'm scared. Now it's like, I'm doing this. I'm taking the bull by the horns and I'm just doing this. I'm using the A
There's
word.
nothing to be ashamed of about it.
No,
right?
because
What we try to do is
A-word.
normalize it. Right?
What's the A word?
Atheist.
Oh,
Atheist.
I was like, I don't want to say that. That's somebody's mom. I can't say that word. That's
What,
too far.
asshole?
No,
No,
you know what?
it has to do with
I am.
it.
I am.
What?
And there's one. Okay, so there's this young man in my life who I love like a son. He's actually the same age as my son, and his mom has always hated me. And all of a sudden, this year, she starts liking me. This year, and she's a Christian. And I'm like, of course, now's the year she starts liking me. And now she's going to find out I'm an atheist, and she's going to hate me again. Nothing I can do about that. It's hilarious.
thanks,
All of a
Stacy.
sudden, what'd she say?
She says doing the show is
yeah,
so
it
free. I'm
is.
glad I can be a part of that for you, but for both of you guys.
You know what? It is. It's seeing Stacy do the show and okay. Remember the comment somebody asked about? Sorry, I'm all over the map.
That's okay.
Stacy the other day was like, your brain, like what goes on in your brain? I'm like, I don't know. Okay, so
Where we're going,
day,
we don't need brains or maps, to be honest.
The other day, when someone asked Stacy about, women in the church, and I made that comment when Stacy's dad came to me and said he was leaving. Here's what he said. We had 2 kids. Lance was 4 months old and Stacy was 3. And he just came home one day and said, yeah, I don't want to be married and I don't want to be a father. And I was like, oh, cool. Had no idea that was an option. Okay. And we were here in Vernon and he just walked out on us. And he's been gone ever since. He's off living his life, being a deadbeat. And so the church, the church finds out, and I'm like, okay, fine. I said to him, you know this probably, Neil, but here in Canada, there's no fault divorce. So you wait 1 year, and then the judge just signs a paper. You've been separated for a year, and you're divorced. So I said to him, all right, well, you have a year and then I will file for the divorce, because one thing my husbands have had in common is they're lazy. They won't even file for divorce. If
Wow.
any of them, they would have just sat there and stayed married and just did whatever they wanted. They wouldn't have given a crap. They just stayed married and had sex with whoever and done what they wanted. They wouldn't have cared. And I'd have still been legal. Yeah. Okay. So I said, you have a year.
Then you'd have
And then
some
I'm
ground.
filing for, yeah. Then I decided, not as far as the church is concerned. So I said, you have a year, and then I'm filing for
Patriarch.
divorce. Yeah.
Yeah.
The church said to me, so what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm giving him the year, and then I'm filing for divorce. Oh, no. You are staying married to him in case he changes his mind. And I said, for how long? Well, forever.
No.
So,
Wrong answer, but we have a lovely home version of the game for you.
Yes.
San Francisco.
That's awesome. So that's where my very first act of rebellion came from. And do you know what the church says? You know what the Bible says? Rebellion is as the same sin as witchcraft. So they compare you with practicing witchcraft if you rebel.
Just like Salem.
Yep. So
rebellious women.
I was just like, this was my first.
Nope.
This was my first. I don't give a crap. That was my first act of I don't give a crap. So
I have a voodoo doll if you want to use it.
Listen, I let the year go by, and I was actually on the phone with him, and he literally thought, oh, Deneen's a good little Christian girl. I can do what I want, and she'll stay married to me. And I was on the phone with him right here in Vernon, and chit chat. He's like, oh, hold on a second. There's someone at the door. I went, oh, okay. He comes back. I got to go. I said, oh, who's at the door? I got the divorce papers. I went, well, I told you. It's been a year. He's like, okay, bye. So church found out. I got in a little bit of crap, but I didn't care. So, oh, that's my best friend in Australia. That's her. Yay. I love you too, Jules. She's the best.
Welcome to the show.
She's like, you are amazing. And she told me, like, I've only been divorced from Evan now since October. And she's like, he would not know you. He would not know you now. He would not know you. Literally would not know you. I am not the same person that he told 2 years ago. Anyway, so that was my first act of rebellion. And I didn't care. I didn't care. I just didn't care. And then I ended up in the second marriage with an extremely abusive man. And I escaped out of that one with my life. I ended up in a battered women's shelter. I escaped with my life. And I did not find out until I was married to the third husband that the second husband was legally married to someone in California.
Oh, what?
I paid $5,000 to get divorced. I paid $5,000 to get divorced from the abusive man, and come to find out he was legally married to someone in California.
Is he back in California now?
He's dead. He's dead. So I Googled his name. I Googled his name one day, just for the heck of it. Went into this spider web, and somewhere found this little thread, and it said, can I say his name?
He's dead. Who cares?
I mean, he is dead.
It said, Otis Haley was my father. I would like to know more about him. And I wrote, if you really want to know more about him and you want to know the truth, contact me and we'll talk. So she ended up phoning me. Yeah. And we had a long talk, and she was speaking to her mother because her mother had told her all about him. And everything I told her about her father, her mother had told her the exact same thing, and she didn't believe her mother. And she ended up, I'm going to call my mama and tell her I believe her, because everything I told her, he was a terrible man. Anyway, so
wow.
The church told me to stay with him too.
Heathen Queen says, rest in peace, ho. Or rest in pieces.
Yeah. Anyway, the church doesn't care about women.
No,
they don't give a crap about women.
Much.
Not even. Your animals are worth more.
According to, I know. according to the Old Testament, if a man is worth 100 shekels, the woman's only worth 50, right? So, because that's what I grew up on. I was raised Jewish, born to Christians and raised Jewish.
Oh, wow.
I was given up for adoption because, again, like your mom, my mom was, I think, 16 or 17 at the same
Yeah.
time.
I used to wish my mom had given me up for adoption.
Well, after hearing, yeah, I can understand that. My folks that I grew up with, they told me that I was given up or that I was adopted very early. I was like, I think I was 6 years old when they told me, because they believed that I should know. My mom said I wasn't able to have kids. It could have killed me, so I had my tubes tied, and we still wanted kids. So your father and I went and picked you guys out at the baby store. I was like, what? Baby store? I know, right? And then we got your sister a year later. Apparently, I was too much to handle, and they needed someone else in the house to help bring me in. So yeah,
bring in a smaller one for him to chew on. It'll slow him down.
Yeah,
give us some time to react. You know.
Sorry about your arm.
Wait, I hear crying over in the bedroom. That's where they are. Okay.
I still think she's a
Pray
chew
over
toy.
and grow a new one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. How come that never happens? By the way. Oh, sure. He gives the ability to newts to have their limbs and shit grow back, but oh no, not his favorite ones. Like, what? Anyway.
No.
Did Mikey just do a line of yes, twice?
What are you, a cop? Asking me stupid questions like that.
Neil's parents weren't able to drive the Chevy. I was conceived in the back of a 57 Chevy, FYI. So, which I think is pretty fucking cool. The weird thing about that story, being conceived in the back of a 57 Chevy, that my adopted father, or the one I grew up with, was saving a 57 Chevy for his firstborn son.
Wow.
Purely coincidental. But
I
still,
love that.
Kind of cool.
Of course. But still, that's amazing.
Yeah. I never did get it because his mom made him sell it when they moved from Florida to Montreal. So thanks, Grams.
She can't hear you. There's no heaven.
There's a 2-door Bel Air hardtop in factory colors, which was teal and white. I probably would have painted the whole thing black, but still.
But still.
I'm like, how come it wasn't a Nova? Chevy, or not, or what was it? No, Nomad.
Yep.
I always wanted a Nomad, the 2-door wagon. Oh man, those things are cool. Anyway,
You'd look cool driving it, Neil. You'd look cool driving it.
I would have looked badass in that thing.
Getting out in your big boots and your 6'5" frame.
Instead of getting the car lowered, I would have just had the seat lowered. I'd have been like,
yeah, there you go.
You got like the ape hangers. That's how you drive it.
A little periscope so I could see over the steering wheel. Shit, corner.
Dive.
Oh
Dive.
Yeah.
You said Chevy Nomad?
Chevy Nomad, yes.
I got
57 Chevy Nomad.
I was gonna get a picture.
They came in 4-door too, Mikey. So, but you could get a 2-door Nomad.
Oh, I know this.
It's like a Chevy 57 Chevy. Just
I gotta
a wagon.
Google that later.
I got you. Hold on.
It's awesome. A friend of mine had one, and he was rebuilding, and he decided see, 2-door Nomad right there.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I love cars. I love classic
Isn't that badass?
cars.
That is pretty sweet.
Fuck, in red, they're the best in red.
Oh, I like the turquoise. I love turquoise.
I got a
Nice.
car boner. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so my buddy Todd had one of those things that he was rebuilding, and he had it in the garage, and we had to move out of that place. So he said, hey, he goes to my buddy whose name's Odysseus, but we all used to call him OD. You go, hey, OD, can I store my Nomad in over at your dad's little farm area that he's got there? He's like, oh shit, yeah. Well, unbeknownst to him, Dad was using a smoker to smoke all his meats and stuff there. And one time he forgot to turn it off, and the entire barn burnt down, including all 7 cars.
No.
And Todd had already sunk, I think, like 10 grand into that thing. Gone.
So
no
who
insurance.
adopted him?
What, the dad or Todd? Yeah, no insurance
Todd.
on it either. Oh, he was choked.
I'd be so
my
heartbroken.
Goodness.
Choked.
I'd be so heartbroken.
Oh, he was. He stopped talking to OD for years.
Oh,
They finally talk now, but
yeah, I'd just start strangling him involuntarily as soon as I saw him. I'd just start-
drive your car into his house. Here.
And you don't want to watch Dexter?
Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I should start watching Dexter.
I lost it after like the third season. I think I stopped, and I never did go back. And I should probably finish watching it because he's back now, isn't he? He's come back.
Yeah,
new one.
she was watching. It came out like last year on I think Prime.
I dug it.
I love those morbid shows. That was another thing I had to hide from all my Christian friends. I don't know. I like those morbid shows. I'm hooked on true crime on YouTube. I watch all the true crime. Oh my gosh, I love all those true crime stories. Okay, that's nothing.
I have a question. You've mentioned some things, but do you feel like it sounds like you were living in purity culture and you're just now getting out of it? What are some things you want to catch up on now that you realize that you've been missing out?
Okay, my last marriage was purity culture.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Stacy's home. She's laughing.
I thought that's what I heard.
She's okay. I'm dead serious. My last marriage was purity culture.
Wow.
Right. So what's on the calendar? So what's something you gotta catch up on?
It's 57. Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the timer. It's 57:38 o'clock. No, it's 6:05. We should basically.
I got lots to catch up on. Let's just leave it at that.
All right.
I didn't know you were home, Stace. I know now.
She's cackling from the other room.
Oh, Shannon, Stacy's laugh. She heard it. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to be sorry, Stacy. It's perfectly all right.
She's laughing.
How very Canadian.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. The reason I had 3 marriages is because I was in purity culture. And then the last marriage was definitely he practiced purity culture with his wife. Yeah.
I'm about as pure as bloodstained snow, so there you go.
She's still laughing.
When you said what did you call them? What kind of ties were they? What were they?
Soul ties.
Soul ties. I'm like, wow. If they're anything like zip ties, then I got a crap ton of them out there. So, yeah, I was growing up in the 80s, really, in my teen and 90s for my more than in my 20s and then 30s and
Yeah.
It was different. It was different then, kids. All right.
Yeah.
There's a different age.
See, I was married, so
I wasn't.
I got married at 17. Yeah.
I got married in 2003. After being with her for about a year and a half, and we dug each other, and there were signs that I should have seen, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. I've never denied that. And about 3 months. Yeah, no one's saying, no, Neil,
everybody went quiet. Like he's kind of.
It's like very hot in here.
Yeah.
He's not wrong, but
getting hot in here. So take off now, okay.
Use your imagination, kids. But anyway, so what the hell was I going? Oh yeah. About 3 months into it, I left because a friend of mine came to me and said, Neil, your wife, she's a nice lady and all, but I got to tell you something. Many people have told me to get this through to you because they think that you should get out of this. I'm like, what's going on? She goes, well, she's been doing cocaine and other dudes.
Oh,
more than likely to pay for the cocaine.
No.
I'm like, what? No. And she had 2 kids, and I loved the kids. The kids are great. And they loved me too. They used to make me little things for Father's Day and stuff, even before we got married. And like I still have them. They made those little popsicle stick
Yeah,
picture
yeah,
frames.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
right.
macaroni.
And I still have them
Aw,
because they were great kids. But yeah, and that was
you're
the
a
worst part of it.
softie.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm sorry.
And yeah, and when I found that out, I was like,
Aw,
fuck me. So I called up my drummer.
aw.
Said, Colin, come on over. We're moving my ass out of here. And that was it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah.
Joke all you want, but that hurts.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did.
I'm
Because
sorry.
I was my entire life, I was like, I'll never get married. That's fucking stupid. And then I was so
Yeah.
into her that I
Yeah.
decided, yeah, maybe this is the right one. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see how it goes.
That sucks.
And she even started turning my parents against me at the time too, saying that.
Oh, that's what they do.
Manipulators.
Yep. Yep. The guy I told you married to someone else, he did that. He tried that with my family. She's crazy. She needs help. She's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's because she was abused as a child. So you guys just don't listen to her. She's, yeah.
Oh, what a load.
Oh.
Yeah. She called them down to talk to me, and she's like, well, maybe you should go stay with your parents for a week. And I'm like, what? Okay. And then I did it, and then yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was a really shitty situation. I've been out of it since then. So, and I pretty much I dated a couple gals after that, and then I've just been like, no, because I figure, because I'll be honest with you guys, I've been in probably well over 180 relationships, and if none of them have worked, even the one time I got married, of course that one wasn't really me. But the rest of them, I figured the common denominator must be me. So I just never figured, you know what, I'm just going to play solo from here on out.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I think you're a great guy. I don't think it's you. I think the people around you are trash and they're not treating you properly. I don't think it's you at all. And it happens to a lot of people because you're very kind and generous. And people like to
I've known you for 19 seconds and I think you're great.
Actually, it's been about an hour.
It's only felt like 19
seconds. Even better.
It only felt like 19 seconds.
Yeah. Shannon's like 180 soul ties. Give or take. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
That should be
I appreciate that.
That should be the atheist brand of tie.
There you go.
The soul tie.
The soul ties. Well, they call these soul patches, don't they?
Oh,
yeah, soul patches. Yeah.
I call them flavor savers, but
why?
Well, because he can.
Why?
Like, but that's
I've done nothing to you.
Oh my gosh. You guys.
Have I slighted you in some way?
Shannon's barfing.
Me too, he's the queen. Me too.
Oh
my soul is a slut.
Oh man. So funny.
Shit. Well, I think the next time I'm up in the Okanagan, we should get together and go for some drinks and stuff, because I think
I'd love
that'd be a lot
that.
of fun.
Do it. I'll cook for you. Come to Stacy's house. We'll have dinner.
All right, sure. Yeah, that'd be
awesome. Little Lukey will crawl all over you. The 3-year-old. Oh my gosh, he'll love you.
What time did y'all want me to be there? What?
You just tell us when you'll be here.
I can get him up here. I'll pay for his fucking flight.
Airport. There you go.
Sorry, baby.
We're not joking.
You
don't joke with Canadians about that. You don't joke with Canadians about that, right, Neil? We're serious about our hospitality.
Yeah. This is the one thing we don't accept for.
Wait. Mikey, listen to this. I cook cornbread, greens, ham hocks, black-eyed peas. I cook it all.
I'm a vegetarian.
Well, then I'll just leave the ham hocks out of it.
I'm just kidding. I'm not a vegetarian. I just wanted to see what you did.
Better not. I bet.
Was like,
oh my goodness.
Curveball. What you gonna do now? What you gonna do with this curveball?
I can do anything. I cook everything.
We'll go get some of those horrible veggie patties from like Walmart or something for you.
Those beyond impossible to eat burgers.
Actually, the Impossible Whopper's good. Don't ever knock it.
Look, man. Stop
Really?
making your
Are you
vegetables
going
look
there?
like. Stop making your vegetables
They're
look
good.
like
I had
meat.
one. I was like, holy shit, you can't even really tell. I was like,
Just
wow.
serve a salad. Don't
So I've
give
always
me
been
that.
kind of
I
a
love
Whopper
salad.
guy.
Yeah,
I love
salad's
too.
good. What's wrong with
Yeah.
salad? We're not too cool
I
for
like
salad. You
everything.
gotta hide it in some weird patty. I don't need vegetables. Just give it up. I'll eat them.
My nephew is vegan, and I started eating some vegan stuff when he came to visit me, and it was pretty good.
Some
I
of
could
it's
do
really
both.
good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He calls it when we make something vegan without planning. He's like, "You're an accidental vegan."
Accidental vegan.
He'll be- he'll be-
In the meantime, you got like a meat stick under the table.
He'd smell
Nothing
it.
like meat on a stick.
She's
Smell
got
it.
pre-cooked bacon that she's just sliding into herself.
He'd smell it. He'd never
What's that
let me
over
get
there?
away with it.
You can, even vegans like the smell of bacon.
Yeah, I do know
Oh.
some that do. Yeah.
All
I
right.
won't
Well,
eat it,
that's
but
it.
man, it smells good.
You're coming for
Yeah.
dinner.
Well,
You're coming for
You
dinner.
can make that. Well, yeah. When I'm up there, we'll definitely set up because
Mhm.
my biological father lives in Summerland, so I go up there to see him. All
Oh,
the
that's so
time.
close.
So, yeah. Yeah.
Seriously. Yep.
Here's the funny thing: the whole family before my biological mom passed away, and one of my sisters was. I don't know if you heard about the accident of about 2016 on Highway 97, the motorcycle accident where the girl passenger on the back was killed.
Yes.
That was my sister. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I did hear about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
man.
was horrifying. It
Yes.
was, and I feel with the both of them, I got to meet them in 2000, and even after 17 or my biological mom passed away in 2013, I felt like I got ripped off. Like I got
No
so
kidding.
much more time I could have had with them,
No,
right?
yeah, no kidding.
And they were very happy when they found me, and they were worried because they thought I would hate them because you threw me away, kind of thing, right?
No.
And I could never be that way. I was like, no, I get the problem you had. I understand. And I was raised I was raised in a higher than middle class type family.
Yeah, yeah.
Like my family is on my dad's side, and well, both sides really there's a lot of money there. So, I mean, the Army and Navy stores, right?
Of course. What?
That's my family. That's my family. It's my cousin Jackie. Yeah.
Can I tell you a quick little story about Army and Navy?
Sure can.
I was like a year and a half old. We were walking down New Westminster. I was with my grandma. We were standing at a crosswalk, and there was a man in a business suit, and I was a baby, toddler. And we're standing at a crosswalk, and I tugged on his pant leg, and he looked down, and I put my arms up like this for him to pick me up, and he did. And we walked right across the street, and he marched me right into the Army and Navy and bought me a baby doll.
Oh, well, I wonder if that was my Uncle Jack.
I was about to say, how weird was that? How weird would it be if Neil was like sitting on the counter when they brought her in? Oh,
Well, I'm 2 years older than him, so I don't know. He might have been in utero.
There was a gleam in a guy's eye behind the counter.
They were just
I
getting into
love
the
that
57
movie.
Chevy right at the
I love the Army and Navy. That was your
What's
family
that?
store?
Yeah, owned it since my my great uncle. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cool connection. I
Yeah,
love those
it is.
stores.
Well, there's only I think the New West one's gone, and
Yeah.
there's only the one
Yeah.
downtown now.
I know.
So
I know.
yeah,
It's like a
and I think
Over
Jackie's
on
shutting that
Mikey.
one down as well. So
I'm
wow.
Googling
That's
furiously. I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about.
it's a
Army and
department
Navy's like a
store.
discount department
It's
store.
a department store. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be like remember the old Five and Dime?
Yeah.
In the old
I get
movies,
every
Five
year I
and Dime.
get my camping gear
not
from
helping.
them every year.
That's not helping. How old are you? 15?
Just put Army and Navy department store, British Columbia. Just do that.
I'm not going to tell you my age. You'll have to guess.
I can.
I
tell
said
you.
15.
You're close. He's 16. Just got his license to drive.
Very sad now. I'm just going to go.
Oh my gosh.
34.
34? My youngest is 35. So you're a baby.
I didn't say I was old. I just said I wasn't a baby.
You're so cute.
All right. Well, Deneen, what do you say we take this into an after party? Because I think everything we got going on now we can do in an after party and have some fun with some other folks too. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely,
like a good idea?
positively. So I thought we were having a party.
We are. We're just warming it up for the after party.
There you go.
That's what it is. By the way, guys, if you'd like to be involved and come and meet Deneen virtually, anyways, please let Mike and myself know through the usual social media ways, or you can email me as well. I have my email at 604atheist, or sorry, 604atheist@gmail.com. And also, if you like Deneen and you want to follow her around on Facebook, I have a link to her Facebook page there, so you can check that out as well. Thank you, Deneen, for being my guest.
You're welcome. This was absolute pleasure. Fun.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I, as I told your daughter as well, I love it when I get local folks on the show too, like the home province folks.
Us British Columbians, we're pretty cool.
Our numbers are growing.
You will be. You'll fall in love with British Columbia.
Talk to my wife. I'll get you her number.
We're nice people. We're great people.
You know, when Bobcat Goldthwait did a comedy stink here, he said, you know, you guys, your mountains are so beautiful and stuff. They're like, this sucks. I pulled out my spray can and I graffitied your mountains.
Feel at home.
To make himself feel better.
Yeah.
I feel more at home here.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, thank you, Deneen. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone out there in the chat for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. There's more to enjoy in the after party. There is a link below if you just want to click on that and go and wait for us. We do take a bit of a break between shows, about 20 minutes or so. So, you know, it's for that thing like the bio break, refill the glass, that kind of stuff. Whatever you need.
I got to go get a new juice box.
New juice box.
Get a Capri Sun.
There you go. There's only one Capri Sun.
But Deneen, I'm gonna need you to open it for me because I have trouble.
Okay, I'll help you.
Never get that straw in the fucking hole. That could be misconstrued. Anyway, home for something. And I'm gonna go see if my newest Lego set showed up.
Yeah, that's right. If it's been delivered.
2 things showing up. I got a Spider-Woman minifigure showing up, and I got
Spider-Woman.
Yeah, Spider-Woman. Yeah. Part of the Spider-Verse.
You don't even know.
Is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a Spider-Verse. Well, there's a multi-universe according to the Marvels guys. So.
Did you see the one with Miles Morales?
Thanks, Kylie. Thank you, Kylie. Pardon?
Deneen, did you see the Spider-Man with Miles Morales? The one that made everybody like weep uncontrollably and fall in love with Spider-Man all over again?
No, I guess I'll have to.
It's 90 minutes you owe yourself.
Oh,
you're talking about Into the Spider-Verse?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
I owe myself way
really
more than 90 minutes. Did you hear about my purity marriage?
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thanks, Kylie. And thank you. How do you pronounce A-E-R-R? Air?
Air, yeah.
Thanks, Air. You've been very, 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 very complimentary. I've been reading your little messages. So thank you.
We're watching you.
Y'all.
Thank you, Dave. Glad you guys enjoyed the show. Kylie says you did a great job.
Thank you.
Lots of praise. Lots of praise from the chat.
Yay.
Right,
so come to the after party.
Settle down over there, okay? Jeez.
Somebody buy this woman a battery operated boyfriend. No, I want the real deal.
Mom.
I need a man. I'm not.
There you go.
I'm not up. For
not a battery operated man.
I don't want a machine. Well, I want a machine, but I want him to be a man.
Wait, are we talking like T2 Terminator type thing, or?
Oh, I just want a man. Kylie's funny. Okay.
Yes, as you saw, Mikey throwing that up, trying to hint me to let's get over here. Thank you to my amazing patrons. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So much love to all of you for promoting the show and helping out the show. Love it all.
Okay. All right.
So, and as usual, Randolph.
So I take a break too. I'll be back. Okay.
Yeah. Well, just hold on. Hello, Randolph. You're late, but we're doing the after party, so you can join us for that if you like, brother.
On it.
Where was I? Oh yeah. And thank you guys again out there in the chat. And as I always say at the end of the interviews, like the late great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.